Hare Krishna guys, it's me, the old school monk, and welcome to another fantastic video here on the channel. This one's a bit of a different flavour to what you're used to. We had an interview with Pawz. Now if you don't know who Pawz is, he was the first ever player to get 99 in every skill on free to play. He's got like 3 or 4 or maybe 5 200 mil skills, just purely staying in the free to play worlds. And I've been playing a lot of free to play on this account, BenXI. But as you can see right now, based on the activity that I'm performing and the clothing that my character is wearing, spoiler alert, I'm a member. Also spoiler alert is that Mage XP. We're closing in on 99. This Saturday coming, we're definitely going to have our 99 Mage party, so stay tuned. But there's more videos to come this week which will clue you up on exactly what's happening. So without any more further ado, Hare Krishna, and enjoy the video. And sorry, Pawz, that I became a member. I'm sorry.
Good. I'll be right back. Literally like 2 seconds. All right.
No problem.
Okay.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshulam Malitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swaya Rupa Gadamaya Dadati Svapadantikam Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Site Devi Pranamami Hari Priye.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, cool, I got some prayers in.
Sweet.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Pawz. Welcome to the channel.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I've already introduced you, by the way.
You have, okay.
So Pawz, I guess I'll do a quick one, but like I know you're kind of a big player in the free to play community. You got 4 200 mil skills, rank 11 fishing, rank 95 mining forever.
Oh yeah.
Some would call you like a high level, like extremely high level RuneScape player. Like how many hours are we talking? Like if you go on your little character summary tab, how much time?
Whip out a calculator, somebody. 1,076 days, 20 hours.
1,076 days. That's hardcore. I'm gonna try and do that now. 1,076 times 24, I guess.
Yep. I'm 20, by the way, I'm like, no, go first. You go first.
I got 25,804 days. 25,824 hours.
Yep, makes sense.
AFK time mostly, right?
Well, probably, yeah. There are people with more playtime than me. Probably like 4 or 5 others that have more playtime than me in free to play. So hours played, not too impressive.
It's just an interesting kind of statistic.
Yeah.
But I guess because a lot of people, when I made this channel, the first video that I put up on there was just me hanging out, doing something very chilled out and free to play, killing moss giants in the wilderness. And I had a lot of people commenting on the video saying like, "Oh my god, you're still in free to play? Those stats are amazing for free to play." And I was like, well, you obviously haven't seen like Pawz, and there's quite a lot of other free to play like hardcorers. But for the average RuneScape player, like even my stats they're confused why I would carry on playing free to play. What to speak of you that's going for 200 mils? I was wondering the first question, like why free to play for you?
Initially, okay, so I would say initially it started off as me being lazy, and I absolutely hated doing like quests and things. I hate doing like prereqs for things to like actually play the game. It's like this game is like a whole bunch of, oh, I need to do this in order to do this, 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 to eventually get to the thing you want to do. So that's mostly the reason I started free to play. But I think I've learned to appreciate how free to play is essentially just the core game mechanics, and the simplicity of it is just like something I love at this point. Like if you think back to how RuneScape Classic started, it was, this was the game, like free to play, and at some point they had to start charging people for membership, so they like froze this as what is the free part of the game and started adding more things. So I don't know. That's just kind of how I see it. There's not like a ton of prereqs in free to play, so I just love that.
Interesting. So you say simplicity is an attractive thing for you. Is that something which kind of expands into your kind of real life as well? Are you just quite a simple person in terms of like the way that you live day to day?
I would say probably not a very simple person. I also can appreciate complexity, but this game has really made me appreciate it. Yeah, I do. It's kind of hard to explain, but I do also appreciate complexity as well as simplicity. So
Yeah, I think I can pick up what you're putting down there. But
yeah,
like so like this for me the idea of simplicity is quite nice because it can allow one's mind to be a little bit more peaceful. You know, like especially
for
like
sure.
free to play. You're just okay. My life is complex. I've got a crazy situation, maybe potentially outside of the game, and I can just do extremely simple tasks. And for the mind, that's quite a satisfying feature, at least for like a grindy game like RuneScape. I don't know if you agree with that.
Absolutely. It's like you know, it's like you're taking a break from what's going on outside. I agree. That's a good way of putting it, I think.
Yeah, because it's like I'm just kind of interested because I've picked up the game after being in the temple, after being a monk. I'm interested into the reasons why we're playing it, like kind of exploring the more subtle reasons why we play. Because sometimes we do so many things in our life completely unconsciously.
Hmm.
Like we started playing RuneScape, so we just play RuneScape. But there's also like there's actually some features of the game which are giving us something which cause us to want to come back. So I wondered what, because I've never personally achieved a 200 mil scale, or like I guess you're maxed in free to play as well.
Yeah.
You know, when you finally achieved those goals, was there a particular feeling? Like, can you talk on that kind of subject of achieving goals within the game?
Yeah, it's I don't know, the feeling you get once you complete it is not like, I mean, it's a good feeling obviously, but it's I don't mean to sound like cliche, but it is like just the ending part of that journey, I suppose. You know, it's like I find it more rewarding that I guess in a way it's like more of a long-term feeling of satisfaction. Like over time you're like, yeah, I actually managed to do that, that's crazy. Like rather than in that moment you're like, yes, it's finally done. But
Yeah.
I think the most rewarding part is you know, you say you start a skill, you're going for a 200 mil, it's like 4,000 hours. You get through the first 2,000 hours and you're like, wow, I want to quit, this is taking so long and I've only completed half. I think the halfway point is just the worst feeling of the skill. But just like sticking to it on a daily basis and like, I don't know, but it's not even really like pushing through. You have to like convince yourself that this is just a daily task that you're doing, and as long as you get through that daily task that you're doing, like if you just do that consistently every day, then it will happen. And like you don't have to think about it super hard long term, like, oh, I still have 2,000 hours left of this is going to be horrible. Yeah, that's kind of how I think about it, and how I feel it's rewarding in the moment rather than like the completed part of it.
It's interesting, like yeah, with setting yourself such an extraordinary goal, 4,000 hours. There's not many things in life that take that long,
Right.
goals. So it's like it's really forcing you to like not be attached to the end of it, because you
Yeah.
can't. That's almost not enough motivation to
Exactly.
have the high number
Right.
at the end. So like you said, when you got your 200 mil skill, it's not like this ecstatic point. It's just the end of a journey.
Yep.
So it's there's something like quite meditative, or there's something about that which.
Right. Yeah.
Are you someone that's naturally attracted to meditation in real life, or not at all?
It's kind of hard to say. Like there are sometimes I don't know. You've probably watched like Acid Soul's videos, and he talks about like the flow state and skilling, and that's a satisfying experience once you're like not even aware that you're skilling or playing the game. You're just repeating the same task. It is a nice feeling. But I also I don't like enjoy doing that all the time. Like I'm not sitting at my computer like for hours on end just zoning out listening to music, which is it is a nice thing, like I said, but I also like put on something entertaining on the side, so I'm not just doing this. Like I'm always like multitasking so that I can keep my brain occupied.
Like the theme that's coming up already in this conversation is that we're using RuneScape as a way to detach our mind from like the potential stresses and the potential like the weight of our other life, like our real life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that idea of really getting absorbed in a skill is one thing, but I think most RuneScape persons we're watching something or we're doing some other thing, like to actually just play the game. Like, can you imagine just skilling with no music and just playing? I don't think I can.
I used to have a friend that played this game. I don't think he plays much anymore, but one day I found out that he didn't play well. Like, he didn't listen to music, he didn't watch videos on the side, but he still had 4,000, 5,000 hours of free to play on his account. Like, what? How have you managed to do that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hardcore. And it's interesting because I guess we're all in need of that kind of escape. Like, that's why it's called Run Escape. Like, we need some some kind of escape from our real life, because I guess the nature of living in this world is there is a bit of suffering that goes on. Like, you have to suffer a little bit if you live here, like the body aches, or there's many causes of suffering. So just interesting, because the type of meditation that we were taught in the temple is like the mantra meditation. Like, so rather than just focusing, because meditation means to give attention to something. So like what Acid Soul is talking about, he's meditating, he's giving his attention to the kind of simple movements of skilling in the game. So like, I guess with Buddhist meditation, they do like a type of meditation where they just walk. I've seen them do it before, and they're like walking, like they just focus in on walking or whatever, So like, I think it's an effective style of meditation for kind of negating the suffering. My game just crashed.
Oh no.
It's cool though, we can keep going.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that. If you have any thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, if you're including my perspective here, I'm just clicking a log and clicking a tree, like up and down. Not really. I even have like all the environment turned off with the plugin, so it's just like.
Is it like the black? You're in the void. I'm
in the void right now. I kind of just so I have my character viewable just so I can see when I'm like rotating to the tree. It's just a little bit easier, but other than that, I kind of like this way of playing. I don't know. It's nice.
It's interesting. Like, because like these Buddhists that I spoke about, the ones that they'll just meditate on walking, or just they'll look at a candle and they'll just stare at the candle, or they'll do things like that. Like, there's a title for them, and they're called voidists. So they try to merge with the void, or they try to kind of remove their existence by doing that. They focus on a very simple task, and by doing so, they negate the suffering, but they also negate the happiness. So they're free from happiness and distress, so that there's no positive. So it's interesting that you're actually playing RuneScape in the void.
Yep.
Some kind of almost as if you are doing, like, your style of gameplay is a type of meditation. Not all the time, but like when you're skilling specifically.
Right. Yeah.
This is an interesting conversation so far, though. I like it. But there's like an interesting like place where like RuneScape meets with spirituality. Like, I think it really does kind of, it can really touch in a way that other things which aren't spiritual can't touch, if you know what I mean. Like, it's
right. Yeah.
Like, it's hard to do like a spiritual video about kind of soccer or like whatever.
Even,
there's many things.
Right. Even any other video game at all. Like,
yeah.
RuneScape is so Like, there's absolutely nothing like it, and there won't ever be anything like it again, because why would anybody intentionally make a game like this? Like, the way people
It's
have
so long.
molded it.
Like I'm just going for this Castle Wars armor, and it just takes so long. Like in terms of just hours, it's
Yeah.
quite funny. Like, so now I can't capture my window for some reason.
Oh, lovely.
How wonderful. Just bear with me. Keep chopping
You're
in the
good.
void.
I can talk a little. So I just want to tell you that you like caught me at the exact right moment today, because
Oh really?
I actually got married on Saturday, and
Really?
I'm leaving for my honeymoon tomorrow. So this is like the one day I had free. So you like messaged me at the perfect time, basically.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you particularly like spiritual or religious or anything like that?
Yes. But maybe not
Christian?
the same way. Yeah, Christian. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say in that case, it is in the same way, because like
Yeah.
although my thing looks like Hinduism, it is Hinduism, but it's like monotheistic, meaning
Mhm.
that there's like we believe in that one God, the Father,
Right.
and even throughout the books, it talks about how Jesus is that representative of God, which connects people back to the Father. So
Mhm.
it's like the whole example that Jesus set. He died on the cross, and he was really all about taking people away from the external rituals of spirituality. So like
Mhm.
all the Pharisees were obsessed
Right,
with like
right.
the rituals,
Mhm.
and he was taking them away from that and taking them back to the devotional aspect of it.
Mhm.
So like I personally like I'm a big fan of reading the Bible, big fan of Christianity.
Yeah.
Before I was a monk, you wouldn't have. There's no way. Like I wouldn't have been able to. Like I just didn't care about it at all.
Yeah.
So that's one thing with the Hare Krishna. It's kind of like non-sectarian. So we're concerned with the spirituality rather than the external packaging
Mhm.
per se. So where are you going on honeymoon?
Flying out to California,
Nice.
Huntington Beach. It's like south of LA.
I know. There's a temple there.
Really interesting.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
not know that.
I have to go see it. I don't know if she'd like out there. Anyway, I'm back in.
We're back.
Okay, wonderful. I'm back crafting my ruby. I quite like this ruby. It's like there's many members things that you can do efficient, non-members things which are efficient for all players and free to play. I think.
Yeah, you mean like fast XP? Yeah.
Yeah, decent, and I quite like with free to play the fact that it's free. It's quite a nice feature of it.
True.
Like you don't have to pay for it. Okay, so what have we talked about so far? Voidism, meditation, merging, spirituality. Yeah, when did you start playing RuneScape?
I started. Oh, RuneScape itself. I started playing in 2006. I think it was like March. I want to say, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I've been playing for getting close to 20 years. That's kind of insane.
I think we started at the same time. Are you 30 as well, or?
I am 26, turning 27 next month. So
Okay, you're a young whippersnapper then.
yeah.
And you're from
I'm from New York, U.S.
New
obviously,
York.
so.
Okay. One thing I was interested in is because how many hours would you say you put into the game per day?
It's so recently it's not as intense as it used to be. I don't know if you want me to get into my like IRL situation from when I started, or do you want me to just give?
Yeah, it
generalized?
could be interesting just to
Okay,
give some
yeah.
context to the
Right.
player.
So I started in 2015 on this account Pawz. I guess I actually started it before that on RuneScape 3, but I was playing free to play only on that as well. But when old school free to play came out, I obviously got way into it more than I was on RS3. So I was in high school at the time, and it was actually like I was just getting out of high school essentially when they released free to play old school. So that was like huge for me, and I had essentially no plans for the future because I don't know. I really wanted to go to architecture school, and the school I wanted to go to had pretty strict requirements, and it was hard to get into, so I felt like I had no chance to. So I didn't know what I was doing with my life. So I was playing a lot of RuneScape as soon as I got out of high school, and I played probably like 1.5 2 years of just like a lot of hours, and I maxed in that time. I was the first free-to-play player to max.
Really?
I think
How long did it
maxed.
take you?
My time played at the end of it was 4,200 hours, but it was I was obviously inefficient. I was still, there's no guides or anything for doing anything, so I had to kind of come up with what I was doing and how to execute everything. So that's my excuse for being inefficient. But yeah, 4,200
no
hours.
judgment.
And that was more like just about a year of playing, because like the first few months I didn't really play free to play. I mean, I played the first day and maybe like the month after, but I kind of had like a 5 or 6 month hiatus, and then decided to go for max. So, well, yeah, like 4,000 hours in a year. I don't know how many hours a day that is, but probably a lot. Yeah. So I was playing a lot first few years. I eventually decided to go to like a local college, and I continued playing, obviously, and played quite a few hours still. Got 200 mil fishing. That was my first 200 mil ever. Got that in 2017, and after that, hours kind of went down, but obviously I continued playing. I got really good grades in that college, so I was able to get into the architecture school I wanted to go to, and I recently graduated with a master's degree last year, about a year from now actually. So that was really awesome to have done. Didn't think I would ever be able to do that. So.
That's awesome.
Yep. And yeah.
So sorry to cut you in, but in those years that you were kind of putting in the big hours, was that kind of the central focus of your life in terms of like?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It kind of filled the void of like having a goal in real life. Obviously, I didn't really know what else to do. So. Yeah.
And did you feel like a negative impact from that kind of amount of playtime?
No, not at all. I feel like, I don't know, this is kind of something I associate with RuneScape, is like, it's like, I used to run a lot. I enjoyed running just long distances because it was enjoyable, like being able to complete such a crazy task of running X amount of miles, So I don't know, I kind of compare that to RuneScape. It's like this really long and tedious process, but it's rewarding at the end, and I absolutely don't regret putting the amount of hours I did, because I feel like it taught me how to like set goals and achieve them, which might sound corny, but that's how I think it's
I think there's often like black and white statements. Video games are bad, this is good,
exactly.
Like it's a bit more grey than that. And it's funny because when you was talking about getting 200 million skills, I was thinking, this sounds like, the way you're speaking sounds like these people that do like the 200-mile mega marathon runs.
Right, yeah.
Like, it's an interesting type of kind of mindset that you need for that kind of thing. Because I don't think everyone is capable of getting a 200 mil skill. Like everyone's nature is a little bit different, and it takes a certain nature to be able to do that. Like, so it's interesting how our nature expresses itself through this game. Like this is so like the way that you approach life will kind of be expressed through the game. So you have like aspects, like players in the game which are extremely like trolly and like just like really nasty and spiteful, and I don't know, like if you ever go star mining, sometimes you hear some horrendous things, and that's most likely because those persons are suffering in some way in their real life, and they want to take it out in the game.
That makes sense.
Whereas like the free to play game it's got its whole, a certain type of mindset is attracted to that. I'm personally attracted to it. I always like skilling. I like the more simple, like you just train these skills and get them up, and you just kind of have some kind of outlet for that energy. So it's just interesting hearing you speak about that. Like you have this interest in long distance running, and also long distance XP gaining. You know what I mean? It's like it's a real marathon to go for a 200 mil. Like right now, you're about 4 million XP away from 99 range, right?
Yeah.
Or 200 mil range. Sorry.
Yeah.
Scrubs.
It's been a about a 4-year process, I think, maybe 5. I don't know
Really?
how long. Honestly, it's not even like it's just something I've done on the side. Like I'm at work or I'm at school. I just log in AFK at Flush Crawlers, and eventually you get there. It's yeah.
You have
Interesting.
you go to a place of work to work, or you
Yeah.
work from home?
Yeah. I go to work. Yeah.
Okay, and they don't mind you playing the game, or you kind of hide it a little bit?
I kind of hide a little, but people are allowed to be on their phones, so it's not a huge deal. Everyone's, I use a Chrome
Mm.
remote desktop, get to my laptop, and yeah, do it that way. Mobile kind of
I think
isn't great for that, but anyway, sorry.
yeah, remote desktop's good because you've got the RuneLite 25-minute time logout
Yep,
timer as well, right?
yep.
Do you have your job is connected to the architecture degree that you did, or?
Not currently. I am looking for a job, but the past several months I've been scrambling to plan and afford the wedding. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. You gotta do
that's
what you gotta do sometimes.
right. Yeah,
It's good to have some kind of duty in life as well. It's
yeah.
like natural. Like we all need some kind of avenue for our energy, otherwise it becomes destructive. So
Mhm.
I think for a lot of people playing RuneScape keeps them on the straight and narrow. Like it keeps them away from trouble in a lot of
I
senses because that
yeah.
energy is going somewhere.
I have also noticed that like I feel like when I'm like into playing RuneScape that it's making me like I don't know more productive in real life, which is odd, but like I'm like actually like cleaning my room and like I don't know just small things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think that might be one of the benefits of free to play game because I noticed that when I went into members just for 1 month to get 99 prayer, and because of the just amount of content that's available, your mind begins planning routes through like what you said. I have to do these quests to get the Barrow's gloves, and then I got to do this to get that, and
yeah,
you have this
exactly.
whole you can come up with this whole plan, and then executing that plan is extremely enticing. Like even today, I've got like a week off work, and the idea crossed my mind. Oh, just cash in one of your bonds, and I was like, really, really, the pull of my mind was like, cash it in, go on, you can go and train some melee in there. It's twice the XP rate, whatever. And I was like, no, I'm sticking to plan. At the moment, I'm just Draenor locked. I'm splashing and I'm cutting rubies, and that's all I'm doing.
Nice.
So, because it keeps you more likely to not be able to like maintain your real life because it's extremely absorbing game. Like
Hmm.
it can be, isn't it? Like
Right.
whereas free to play is just boring enough where you're not going to get that absorbed. Okay, so we've probably been recording for like 25 minutes. How long do you reckon we should go for? Or do you reckon we've
Um,
said enough? Or I think
I think that's up to you.
yeah, like I'm quite happy because this is the theme is like basically I want to think about what we're doing in life, whether it's RuneScape or long distance running or spraying graffiti on the wall, whatever thing you're into. If you're conscious of it, you can decide whether it's something that you want to do or not. So for me, it's just interesting to talk about why are we playing this game.
For
Like
sure.
a person should always be conscious of what they're doing and why they're doing it, because otherwise you end up doing things which are hurting you without knowing. You got to be honest though, and you got to have people around you that can be honest for you.
Yeah.
Do you go to church every Sunday?
Maybe not every Sunday, but it's occasionally.
Occasional. Do you study Bible, scripture, or anything?
Not consistently.
Not consistent. You need that. You need that as your daily. That's like a farm run.
Yeah. Your
You just
farm
gotta.
run.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
Oh my god.
Keep it a little bit in there. But I think it's a really great. I really grateful. Sometimes my English is like, my words are faster than my. No, my words are slower than my brain.
Yeah.
So like they're still buffering as I'm saying them.
Yep. I feel that.
Anyway, uh, but yeah, I'm actually genuinely grateful that you agreed to come on. I think you are a legend on a free to play community. I don't know. I can't join your clan because I've got freaking 16 thieving. So
Oh, okay.
otherwise I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Thanks for giving me some of your precious time, and maybe
No
we'll
problem.
talk again in the future.
Yeah.
And if anyone's listening and they enjoyed the conversation and have suggestions of other people that could come on, I'm up for having a chat with people. But yeah, good luck with 200 mil range. Are you gonna have a party?
Yeah, I usually stream my 200 mils just so I can like have an archive of, all of them. So
For prosperity. Okay, nice one, Pawzy. We'll see you on the other side.